folks, welcome to In the Spirit of Things, and we had a little free will there for you. Anyways, that's sort of the era I grew up in. That's probably what's wrong with me. Anyways, folks.
Wow, you're old.
No, I'm new, sweetie. It's all. Thank you very much. I love that 2 cents from Michelle, and I'm going to give it exactly that just due, 2 cents. Folks, I was a rock and roll drummer for many, many years. Did lead vocals in a rock band, so I'm just a little bit in that space. That fits where my mind is, and I like that. But who would have thought they would have put real content and substance in the songs if you actually read the lyrics? Too busy smoking a fatty to get my mind right at the time. But I got my mind right now, so that's all that matters. Anyways, hey, that was the era, folks. If you weren't there, you missed it. Anyways, tonight's going to be a beautiful show in the spirit of things. What's that?
I said, I guess I missed it.
Yeah, you missed it. You were in probably came up in the 90s or the 80s. The 80s was a very dead zone. It was bad. So now I understand. Anyways.
No, I came up in the 70s, just a few years behind you. Don't worry.
I know, so just a few years. Anyways, we're not comparing notes, folks. It's all good.
Nope.
Anyways, in the spirit of things, folks, welcome to our second kickoff, and starting next week on our Monday calls, we're going to go into a different direction on Monday calls. We're going to cover the body. I mean, we're really going to cover the body, your body, my body. Well, maybe not my body, but we're going to cover substance. We're going to cover information, things that make the body right, as well as make the mind right. Because, folks, like I say, Big Pharma, FDA, all those clowns at the circus, they don't want me talking about this stuff because they can't patent it. And we're going to talk about stuff like DMSO, Laetril, sodium bicarbonate, magnesium chloride, Celtic salt, all these things that cause chump change and will make the body and the mind right on multiple levels and, put you in a beautiful oxygen-rich environment so the attacks from the system, i.e. GMO-modified foods and aluminum buildup in your brain, all these different modalities, probiotics to clean out the stomach, that type of stuff. We're going to cover those. I got Brother Jerry coming on with me starting next Monday. So, folks, you're not going to want to miss this because it will be, it'll be substance, and we'll actually post stuff so you can grab onto it, read it, understand it, because we don't want you to believe anything we say. It's all hearsay until you can prove otherwise to yourself. So I'm just the guy who gives direction of flow. That's where I live. But anyways, I've got Brother Johnny here and Brother Michelle. Sorry, Michelle.
It's okay.
Well, Brother Johnny's here at least.
McGilla Gorilla is on the hunt again. You gotta love it. I didn't get my banana today. Anyways, folks, we're gonna move forward on a different level. We're back in the loop, we'll be stepped off from Freedom Reigns in its entirety. We'll be finishing out Tuesday and Saturday show with them. But after that, we'll be 100% over at I Am Free Will. So I guess I'm trying to give you the memo. And if you go sign up on Privatis.Me for free and get into the free portals and stuff, you'll get my memos weekly. I send them out weekly on the shows. So in case you forget, I like to give them reminders. So hey, I guess I'll give you your reminder service. So because we're going to talk about things of substance, we're going to talk about stuff that nobody wants to talk about. And, folks, I look across the horizon and I see tons and tons of shows out there, but I don't see anybody talking about a lot of substance. I don't see them giving solutions. Folks, that's where we live. We're the solutions guys, Michael and I, and we're going to give you a whole new direction of flow. But you've got to be willing to do a little bit of heavy lifting for yourself, but it's not going to be hard. Anyways, it will actually be very simple, direction of flow. Anyways, tonight we're going to talk about what we always talk about, things of substance, how to operate in peace and consent, how we consent and how to live life on purpose, and also cover, just things of the day that we're taking notice of in our world and seeing all this stuff going on around us that we're paying attention to, like the banking system and stuff like that. It's Tricks is for Kids hours, folks, on a whole different level, and it's fixing to get ugly. This is not fear porn. This is the wake-up call. That's all this is. Anyways, on that note, Sister Michelle, what do you think?
Hello.
Yeah, I got
hi,
the
John.
sister part right.
How you doing, Michelle?
Yeah, you have to. Well, look, sometimes it, I do bring it like a brother could, I guess. But it's about balance, isn't it?
Yep.
I think it's about balance, and I have the strength and courage of a man, but I'm pretty much built like a woman, and I'm blushing.
Yeah, I can attest to that, folks. I've seen her on Skype.
Yeah, sorry. This is a bit unexpected. I wasn't expecting to be speaking about myself. I'm really private. John, how are you?
Boy, what a diversion.
I know.
I know.
Exit stage left. Exit stage left. Hello.
Yeah.
Well, Jesse and I, we're still hard at her.
Yep.
We've gotten,
how's it going?
Our paperwork is pretty much in its final completions now. We're just having, the I's dotted, the T's crossed kind of thing, and it looks pretty good. Maybe we'll post it over at Privatis after we're done so that we can let the listeners have a look at what kind of paperwork we're filing into federal proceedings and common law proceedings. So to give people, it's actually quite simple. It's not very complicated at all, and so hopefully we're going to get in there tomorrow and be able to serve these papers on them and get this done. It has been quite the learning curve, though. I must say we're working 14 to 16 hours a day. This is all we do is eat, sleep, and learn right now, and unlearn other lies that we've been taught. And it seems to me, like I say, we're learning that yes, we can consent to being a citizen, or yes, we can consent to being a living flesh and blood man or woman. And under those two definitions are two completely separate laws in this world.
Yep.
And when you understand that, you can switch back and forth and work in commerce and be in the private. But the thing is, I don't think a lot of us knew that we had the choice. I don't think a lot of us knew that we could play both roles, even though we may have government ID and all this kind of stuff. It seems that we are able to, anybody, even though we've gotten rid of all the assumptions through divine providence and stuff like that of not being a citizen or corporate slave. We have the option still to use that for commerce or to our benefit if we see fit. And if we do not see fit and it is being hindered to us, we have the right to say we are a living man, flesh and blood man and woman, and we have been aggrieved. And that it takes you into a completely different jurisdiction. Now, of course, there are definitely tricks. This has been going on a long time. A lot of people don't understand that there are two worlds of law going on, and they do try to trick you in the courts. And we're going to have to be very wary of that. To try to bring us back into judicial law, basically, instead of keeping us under common law, so trying to bring us to statutory law. And it is quite simple to keep in common law, but you do have to know some rules. It is there is some learning curves and there is some stuff, but it is a lot easier than learning a bunch of legalese.
Right.
And not letting them trick you into using legalese. They start bringing up statutes and codes. You automatically know right then and there that you are not in common law and that they're trying to put you into statutory court. And as a man, you do not recognize statutory laws and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, we're definitely learning a lot. That's the one thing about the negative in this world, and I try to explain this to my father and stuff like that. He doesn't quite understand what's going on, but and how we're so calm and reserved about what's happening is because we understand, the more the evil wishes to be exposed, the more that we're more than willing to expose it and stay in honor. And when we're done with this, of course, we're going to help many others guide through our footsteps and, our machete through this jungle as we make a path for everyone else to follow. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. And that's beautiful, John. Like I say, folks, we talk about standing in the breach. And that's the kicker. Because freedom with responsibility comes from knowing who you are, And we're aggressively gonna start teaching that more so over at Privatis.Me, because we are well aware that you didn't know that you had binded up yourself with all these adhesion contracts. And it's funny because we were talking about removing yourself from the body politic, removing the state from your union, also removing the state and removing the state from the estate via rescission. Folks, guess what? If you have a statutory will, that's a dead man's will. And gee, you know, it's ironic. I got an article. I'm going to find it. I'm going to dig it up, and I'm going to post it on the site. Have Michael post it to our Privatis.me members so everybody gets that memo. The probate industry is a $1.1 trillion a year business. Folks, where I come from, that's called, let's see, what do they call that? Bad intent and conflict of interest. Gee, because they're looking for hypothecation events on your estate. Gee, go figure. Where did I hear that before? Yeah, estate and trust law, folks. It's all about the states, the estates. Yeah, it's ironic. They have the state of Connecticut, but they wouldn't put an E in front of it because then the jig would be up. But yet they posted it in the IRS's codes, W-2s, W-4s, 1099s, are tax class 5 documents, estate and gift tax forms. Gee, they were trying to tell us something. So, folks, you know, this is the, we're unwrapping this big kielbasa for the nefarious ones that be, because they think we didn't want anything. They think we've abandoned everything. Well, hey, coming forward as a living beneficiary is a good status. It's a good start, and removing the presumptions is where we're going to go. So we're going to show you how to rescind contracts, and it's very, very valid. Matter of fact, I've had multiple people rescind their body politic, because, folks, if you're a voter on the voter rolls, you have merely privileges and benefits as a dead entity. Matter of fact, yeah, I covered a little bit about the state sales tax. I have an excellent article. I'll get Brother Michael to post that on the cover page as well, because everybody needs to read that. They've got you classified as something you didn't know you were classified in. That's why they make you pick up the tab. And technically, you're not supposed to be picking up the tab for the corporations in the state that they're operating on. If it's 7% sales tax, they're supposed to eat the big crap sandwich, not you. But because you don't know who you are, and you didn't know that you could administrate differently to separate that variable, you're getting binded up on it. So we're going to teach that. We're going to show you exactly what to do. We're going to show you the documents. We're going to show you how to apply them. And yeah, folks, yeah, it's only for it's for the full members, but they're getting the benefits of coming forward to get their learn on. And all the documents, the third-party debt termination packages for every country is free. It's free for every country. We don't want your money. We want your mind. We want your education. We want to get your mind right. We want to show you how to carry your own water. Because if you're not competent to handle your own matters forthwith, you're going to get sucked up by the machine. You're going to get stuck in the grind. So you know what, folks? We know what to do. We can show you what to do. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. So let's when a clouded mind says no, we're going to take the clouds out from underneath your brain stem, and we'll bring you forward. So it's really, really, really good stuff, folks. It's very simple. It's so simple, most won't get it. That's where we live. So, like I speak of substance and bringing stuff forward, this is where the substance is. If you don't believe me, come on over to my house and spend a couple hours perusing all the free portals on cancer, the massive cancer scam. Oh, yeah. You know what? I got to go on a rant. Here we go. Folks, I got to share this because I just talked to my brother Gregg today, and his sister has effectively she had been sent home to die. She had lung cancer, and they said, hey, nothing else we can do now. Well, she's been effectively neutralizing the lung cancer by breathing in sodium bicarbonate and Celtic salt in a distilled water mix through a nebulizer. Well, here's some irony for you. God, this is the stuff that makes me crazy, and this really makes me crazy. She's fine. Now they're selling her a lie that she has a hot spot. That's a crock of crap, folks. That's just a big scumbag trying to scare her to move forward. Yet she has no symptoms of the lung cancer. Gee, go figure. She's been eating the proper nutrition. She's actually taken responsibility. But see, everybody's looking for the McDonald's fix. And this, Gregg and I were talking about this. The McDonald's fix is, yeah, you go in for a couple shots, chemical poisoning, and you have no responsibility to do nothing except go home and die. Well, they're offering up her a new chemical treatment agent modality Folks, they haven't gotten it right in 100 years. They're not starting now. It's a crock of crap. You can be a guinea pig. They want her as another guinea pig. And, gee, the really insane part about it is she's gotten well, and she's actually considering it because she's buying the bull crap about the hot spot. Folks, I can't make this stuff up. Well, you know what? Yeah, it all comes down to freedom with responsibility. I've had brothers and sisters go to the boneyard. That's to the dead land, folks, because they were dead inside, because they were waiting for a permission from the doctor to do something that they didn't need permission for in the first place. You're your doctor. I don't need anybody telling me how to fix my body. Yes, if I get a fracture, I'll go to see the osteopath. Of course, I use logical common sense. If I have a carotid artery bleed, yes, I want to put direct pressure on it and let somebody sew that carotid artery up. That's logical. I'm talking about the poisoning, subscribing to statin drugs, chemical therapies. Folks, they've had the modality to fix cancer from the beginning. It's a scam. You are just a money mark. You're a hypothecation. If you don't believe me, go to my cancer page, download Cancer Think Outside the Box by Ty Bollinger, and go read it. You'll have total clarity, because he lost 7 family members. I've lost multiple family members. And even in the face of overwhelming evidence that I know what I speak of, well, I didn't get permission from the doctor. Well, if you need a permission, you're screwed. You are screwed beyond revocation. So, you know what? That's your choice. We talk about free will here, and you have the right to do free will, act, and deed, and give over your power to some other clown of the circus who doesn't have your best interest at heart. Anyways, enough of that rant.
Well,
you were just getting started.
Started.
You were just getting started, Peter.
I know.
It's very true, Pete. Like, I'm just a guy. Now I was a city fellow there for years, and I moved out the country, and I've learned more out here in the country than I've ever learned in this hustle and bustle of the city. And it's funny. I wasn't even looking for cancer cures. I was just, looking for information like I do. I'm always searching and trying to educate myself more and more. And within the first couple of years, I had 2 or 3 cancer cures that I'd found out about and stuff like that are very easy, very simple, and I'm not a researcher or any of this kind of stuff. And how do I know that this stuff works? Well, I've had people with cancer in my life who I've, recommended these treatments to and have cured themselves within, a week or 2, sometimes within 3 or 4 months. One fellow had tongue cancer, and they wanted to cut off half his tongue, and I introduced him to a substance, MMS, as we've talked about before. And within 4 weeks, they couldn't find the tumor. He was starting to go back into remission. They couldn't figure it out. He was all set up for radiation and all this kind of stuff. And, this stuff's pennies a glass. Absolutely pennies, and that's just one of the things that it can do. And and I wasn't even looking for the stuff, and it's like you think about all these cancer foundations and all this kind of stuff making millions and millions and millions, raising all this money. Well, that's what it is. It's just raising money for a business, because there have been so many different types of cancer cures. Cancer is very easy to cure, and it is just a scam. AIDS is another one. All these people suffering from AIDS and HIV and all this kind of stuff and told they're going to die. I can just imagine the fear in these people's hearts, and it is also a lie, easily cured.
Yep. Oh. Yeah, I think, what is that, food-grade hydrogen peroxide, the 1-minute cure, which is posted over on my site for free consumption for the masses. Help yourself, folks. Help yourself. It's free. See, so for all those people who say Peter's about the money, I'm going to shut you all up because, you're not getting your mind right. If you don't understand the intent of my heart, you miss the boat, and you get to go suffer a pain greater than you ever thought possible, because you're going to be basically quelling yourself to a doom scenario and a guaranteed negative, bad, deleterious outcome. That's what I'm not looking for my brothers and sisters. I don't, like I say, it's nobody should die for a lie, and that's all this is. You've been fed the lies. The propaganda machine, because that's all most people watch, is where they get their so-called truth, and there's no truth. It's propaganda. They've been propagandizing us for our entire lives. I shut the idiot box off, and I actually started reading. I started digging in. Then I started following the money trail. Folks, if you don't believe anything I say, you know what? Shut this radio station off and maybe just go back into your shell. The ostrich syndrome, and I don't want to see anybody do that. So, we share this because we're sharing truth. but you have to internalize the truth for yourself. I can't do it for you. So, if you're from the show me state, then I'll show you. It's really that simple. I don't have a vested interest in your death or your life. You do, though, and your children do. My
Peter,
children do.
Can I chime in?
Sure.
The thing that I sense that we're up against here is people's belief systems, the faith that they put in things. I came across this quote by Friedrich Nietzsche, who expresses it really well. I think he said, "Belief means not wanting to know what is true."
Yep.
And I've been expressing it over the past couple of weeks as belief and faith they're words that I don't like, because it means it's a process whereby I suspend my knowing. So my knowing takes back seat, and I take my energy and I put it somewhere outside of myself.
Yep.
And I give power to this idea, this ism, this system, whatever it is, that requires somehow that I give my attention, my focus, my consciousness to it. And that's the currency. This is the currency at work here. It's my awareness. It's my consciousness. That is the currency of the universe. That's how things work. Where I put my attention, that is what I validate. That is what I vote for. That is what I bring more into being somehow. I know we have to go for a break soon, but if I could, I'd like to read a short passage about flow and obstruction from this book I'm reading, Spiritual Warfare by Jed McKenna. I don't recommend it to anyone because this is the real deal.
You need to speak into your phone, Michelle. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Am I having problems?
Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
Okay. Flow and obstruction are the basic operating principles of life in the dream state. For most people, though, it's all obstruction and no flow. They say we are spiritual beings having a human experience, but really, we are mortally constipated spiritual beings having a subhuman experience. The pandemics of obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and cancer that ravage the Western world are merely the outer manifestations of a far progressed inner condition. While only some of us are physically fat and diseased, virtually all of us are spiritually fat and diseased. Morbid spiritual obesity is a plague that has decimated the human race, leaving this lovely planet little more than a terminal care facility in which we sit glassy-eyed and slack-jawed, whiling away the hours of lives we didn't ask for and don't know what to do with, a world of moribund hospice patients mainlining on flavored morphine and running out the clock.
Yeah, we're going to cover the other side of the conversation. Michelle, where were you at? I guess we'll take up where you left off.
Sure, yeah, I was just drawing the line between the, I guess, pandemic of obesity and, heart disease and cancer and diabetes that we have in the Western world, and drawing the parallel to the spiritual obesity. I love this last line here. Our planet has become leaving this lovely planet little more than a terminal care facility in which we sit glassy-eyed and slack-jawed, whiling away the hours of lives we didn't ask for and don't know what to do with, a world of moribund hospice patients mainlining on flavored morphine and running out the clock. This guy paints with words. I absolutely love the abilities of this author, and this is what I feel most people do. They are sitting in the waiting room of their life, somehow waiting for permission to get out there and get started.
Yep.
And it kind of drives me crazy, but at the same time, I'm cool with it. I'm okay with it because I understand there's some people who aren't going to get the message, who aren't going to realize that they have a choice. Because once you realize you have a choice, that's when you can either dive back in. Remember last week we were discussing the analogy of, I think I likened the various systems somehow that I am in right now to a sewer. And somehow I'm in this dream state, very much like a sewer. There's no light. Everything is dark. It smells really bad. We're stepping around in all kinds of gloppy stuff, and, the rats are in charge. And, hey, I see some sunlight, and I sense my freedom, and I'm climbing up. But you know what? There are going to be those rats that start chewing on my leg and start biting and scratching me, trying to get me back into their systems. And I'm talking about legal systems. I'm talking about government systems. I'm talking about corporation, education, all the main systems of control. And you know what? That's the goal, to get you to keep fighting. Because when I am fighting something, I'm contributing to it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight. I will not fight. I'm not putting my focus on that. You know what? I might get my leg scratched and bitten on and chewed on a little bit, but you know what? I'm going for my freedom, and I'm climbing out because there is sunshine and there's a whole other world out there. And even if it means that I will somehow be awake in the dream state, look, for me that's progress. I know there are other levels, but this is the one that I'm focused on right now. And there are other people who look, spiritual gurus, other people in the air. I don't even know what kind of field. I don't know what kind of name to give the fields that you and Michael work in. What is that? Sovereignty.
No, I don't use that garbage. No, I don't buy that. No. Empowerment, whatever, taking back yours, operating on the man who you are, taking back your power. That's what I don't give it sovereignty scrap. It's just not where I live.
I know it's a word that has unfortunately many negative connotations because it's a word that other people have run with and have, soiled, for lack of a better way of
they
want
to be a sovereign citizen and crap, which is an oxymoron. So anyway,
Right, but what's happening is, these in the spiritual realm, you've got these gurus, you've got these people who supposedly speak truth, and you've also got these people in your realm who are guiding people. But you know what? Distraction. For me, I consider these to be distractions and diversions.
I'm a distraction, sweetie?
No, not you. Sorry, I'm getting a message from Andrea. We'd like to get John and Michael in here.
I'm here.
John?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Did you want to add a comment, John? Oh, sorry. Okay. Andrea's telling me no, she means on Skype. That's okay. I'm very easily distracted, Andrea. When I'm ranting, it's
I'll send
sorry,
you
I
my
just got
particulars.
derailed. Okay, we'll get up on Skype later. Yeah. So that's just something I wanted to mention, that I don't want to be dealing with rats in a sewer anymore, and I find that there are some people who would wish that I could be happy in the sewer with their system, whatever system it is that they're offering me. But you know what? No, I can't and I won't be. Anything that requires commerce of me, anything that requires an exchange. I was trying to explain this idea of exchange that our system of commerce is based on. I will do this for you if you do this for me. And I think that's where the actual corruption begins, because if I am to give you something, or if I am to do something for you, it starts from my intention. My intention is one of giving. But if I harness, or somehow if I sort of if I have my intention co-opted somehow, I'll think of a better word for that. But somehow, if I tie it in to an expectation of someone else doing something for me or giving something to me, then it's no longer my intention of giving. Rather, it's my expectation of somebody else doing something for me, and that's why we have people doing things for money that they would not ordinarily be doing. John, you want to chime in on this?
Well, again, like I say, we're in cycles, and it
yes.
seems that right now, we're coming out of a comfortable cycle. We went through World War II and all this, and now we're the baby boomers of all these people who fought and died to bring freedom to our lands and stuff like that, right? So we've gotten comfortable. We've forgotten that we need to fight for freedom.
I'm sorry, John.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
That's
the story.
I gotta hold the phone.
That's the story.
John, that's the swill. Apparently you haven't watched. I gotta give you the third degree and tell you to go watch Wars of All Wars Are Bankers' Wars for 45 minutes.
Oh, I totally understand. No, what I'm saying is,
well, I know they sold the freedom shit to the masses.
What I'm saying is, it seems that we get into a comfortable point where the evil ones, they start taking over, you know what I mean, and we get comfortable. We've just gotten past, a great battle or something. Yes, it is all caused by them in the first place, of course. This is all part of the mind game. But it seems that, we don't seem to stand up again until, everything gets bad again. We get comfortable and it's like, oh, yeah, things are getting bad. We're like, yeah, it's not so bad. Things are getting a little worse. And it's like, well, okay. And then it gets so bad that we actually finally stand up again and we kind of reset the clock. So that's why I kind of say, like, we're in a cycle. We kind of get in these cycles of ups and downs on this planet. But yes, I totally understand. We're manipulated into these wars and everything is about the money and all that. Come on now, you're talking to the choir here. But it just seems that as humanity, it kind of seems to take...
You had me scared there for a minute, John.
Yeah.
I was going to boost off the show. Oh, my God. I got to get Johnny right.
It kind of seems as humanity, we kind of go into these cycles of getting to the darkest parts of our history before we will finally stand up and say, okay, enough's enough. You pushed us enough. This is it. And so that's kind of where I was going with that.
Okay, cool. And let me prove a point, folks. This is how subtle manipulation works. They use it on your emotions. They sold Brother Peter. They sold his brothers on the bull crap under the guise of patriotism. What a crock of crap that was. Hey, folks, if you haven't gone and seen All Wars Are Bankers' Wars since the beginning, since the 1700s, we've been duped. But what they do is use subtle manipulation, psychological. This is a war on for the mind, folks. This is psychological warfare. They manipulate you into the Project Pink bull crap, and you actually buy that swill. And they're making piles off of you and your ignorance because you give lock, stock, and barrel and don't research anything. You don't follow the money trail. You just willy-nilly follow the false paradigm because, oh, it sounds so good. Yeah, they're selling you shit. And you know what? Hey, shit is still shit, even if it's wrapped in a nice candy-coated chocolate outside. And, folks, it's still a crap burger. And I was telling that to Michelle earlier. I said they can package the bull crap any way they want. It's still bull crap. But if you buy it, see, you've been tricked, and it's tricked us for kids' hours on so many different levels. And my family members have bought it. My brothers and sisters have bought it. As a matter of fact, my brother's sister up in Chicago, she's buying it again. I cannot believe that they've already nuked her body once. They couldn't get it right, and they sent her home to die. And she's thinking about traversing back into the scam. And then what they'll do is they'll tell her, please, so you don't mess up the protocols, take yourself off the oxygen-rich sodium bicarbonate. Don't do the Celtic salt. We need to know that this is going to stand on its own. Yeah, it's going to stand on its own. It's got to put her in the freaking boneyard, guaranteed. This is the crap that makes me nuts, that my brothers and sisters, after she proved unequivocally to herself that she's getting well, and she's not bringing up gray crap out of her lungs anymore. They're clear and pink. And now they scam her with another hypothecation event because they make big money off these chemicals, these protocols. And guess what, folks? Why do you think they call it practice? They're practicing on you because they're never going to get it right because chemicals never fix the body. That's an altered state. It breaks down the cellular structure in the body and sends your ass to the boneyard. I've seen it day in, day out for the last 30 years. So, hey, don't believe what I say. Hey, if you want to test the water, go ahead. It's your option. Everybody has free will. I'm going to show you the proof, though. If you are from the Show Me State, come on over to my house, and I'm going to show you the proof.
Peter, I'd like to chime in.
Yeah, anyways, I rant because, folks, I get emotional because I can't believe we're buying this crap, and that's exactly what it is, more crap. The propaganda machine has done an extremely effective job of neutralizing your mindset. Anyways, we're going to change that starting next Monday. So those that show up to next Monday's show, you're in for a real treat because I'm going to give you direction of flow on a whole different level. And I know Big Pharma, FDA, and all the clowns in the circus are going to love me that much more. Anyways, go ahead, Michelle. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I love your rants because it shows your passion, Peter. It shows your passion, it shows your integrity, and, I don't want to, you know how much I admire and respect you for your qualities. But I wanted to mention this is a quote from Libba Bray, who's an author, and she wrote in one of her books, the most important rule of any successful illusion, first, the people must want to believe in it. So in the dynamics of manipulating the energies of people, first present them with something really vague and undefinable. Yes, we can. How's that? How's that for my American brothers and sisters? Yes, we can. Completely vague.
We're all about the change. Yeah.
Undefined.
Tell them to keep
but how's
change.
that? That's the first rule of a successful illusion. The people have to believe it.
You know something
yes,
very frightening about that, Michelle? That little slogan?
What's that?
Just check that out on YouTube, and they play it backwards, and it's quite freaky, actually, what he's actually saying when you play that backwards.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. So yeah, check that out. Yes, we can play backwards.
Just the words played forwards are just for me. It's a red flag. Anyway, I don't want to get into politics, but because that's an entire a belief system in itself, and you guys know that I'm not into beliefs and fairy tales and tooth fairies and Santa Claus and Elvis. Let's include Elvis in there.
Why not?
I think Elvis is going to be. Has Elvis become a world recognized organized religion yet, or do we have to wait another 50 years?
Almost.
Almost, because I know people are doing their pilgrimages to Graceland, and there have been some sightings. So I don't know what are the conditions for world religion status. We've got the sightings, we've got the pilgrimages, we've got the belief system, definitely. So I don't know what's missing until we actually declare Elvis another religion. I'm just having fun, guys. I hope we don't get a whole bunch of people being angry.
Because
I spoke up against their God.
Well, we all, we got to snap out of the tooth fairy paradigm pretty soon because, folks, the last place they want you to look in for your truth is inside yourself. Go figure.
Yes.
It's called a conscience, folks. It's called a conscience. You have a moral compass built in you threw it away, or it got thrown away, or it got diverted, or it got restructured, or your mind's not right because it's been fed with so much swill, GMO, modified food products, and everything else. Like I say, if you want to change, you have the option to change. Everybody has the option to change. So it's going to start with you. And guess what? Freedom with responsibility. It's not my job to carry your water. It's just I can bring the pail. I got a 55-gallon drum, and I'm going to let you fill up as many times as you want over at my house. So, it starts with you, folks. It starts with change comes from within. To thy own self be true. Gee, go figure these words that I use. They're just not parables. They're not garbage, because it does start with you. They don't want you looking to you. I went through this swill for the first 13 years of my life and existence on Earth in Catholicism, and for those you still buy the ideology, I'm sorry. You've been duped. You've been lied to. You've been shammed. You've given over your power to that thing in a white collar called a priest. You don't need a middleman, period. When I challenged the authority at 13 years old, they said, hey, you're hereby functionally excommunicated. Well, thank you very much for the non-answer. That told me exactly what I needed to know. See, folks, therein lies the problem. I'm just asking, I'm a logical man having a human experience and asking a question. And instead of them giving me a logical answer, they excommunicated me. So there's the love. Gee, they're coming from a position of love. What a crock of crap that is. They want me to go light a votive candle and genuflect until my knees fall off and kowtow to some guy in a box and give over my power to him for absolution. That's a crock of crap, folks. That's straight up a crock of crap. I don't give my power to nobody. And you know what? It's worked out really well for me since then because I haven't been duped. I actually pulled the curtain back, and I got it. And, folks, gee, let's take a look at Catholicism and the Catholic Church, all the gay crap going on and all the other the nefarious child crap, the pedophilia to the extreme. And, I feel real safe with a priest in tow and my children not. Anyways, folks, I'm ranting. But you better take a look because it's straight in your face. It's all in your face, and it's all in our face. So what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Well, it's real simple. It's called make a conscious decision to remove yourself from that false paradigm and quit giving into belief systems, theirs, because that's what they sold us all. Folks, I'm really pissed they sold me on the military thing. I love my brothers and sisters in the military that I serve with, and, I was a Navy doc. I would give over my life to my brother. The problem is I got sold a lie to do it because, see, those Congress critters, the 535 clowns of the circus, they should have had their kids on the front lines first. We'll make them the proverbial sacrificial lambs to the war whore mongering for the hypothecation event, and we'll let them collect on their policies because they sure as hell ain't putting their kids in the mix when I was going up that hill, but they sure as hell put my brothers and sisters in the mix, and it's usually the lower echelon, lower income strata folks that they tap into because they need a job. We need a job. Yeah, what a crock, folks. I tell you, I'm sort of pissed off now. And I'm, because you know what? I see it for what it really is. That's what pisses me off. Sort of like the third-party debt scam. I see it for what it is, and that's a crook coming into my house, and I know how to take care of crooks that try to come into my house. I cut their hands off. Administratively, of course. Administratively, with love. It's called the counter offer. I show them a little counter offer, and they can't get over the hill. Isn't that special? But because you weren't paying attention, they're going to keep duping you. And it's Tricks is for Kids hour. I was just talking to a brother today on the phone, and he said, he had signed a contract and blah 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 whatever, and they changed the date on him. They actually committed a fraud on the documents. I said, hey brother, no problem. It doesn't matter what they did. Just go ahead and nuke their airstrip with my documents. I promise they're not going to have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of because they ain't going to know what to say. You know why? Because they ain't dealing with the dead entity no more. We're going to remove the first of all, they never have a valid claim, right, John? We talk about claims versus complaints.
Complaint.
I want them to bring the claim. Problem is they can't, folks. They bought it for 3 cents on the dollar. The whores are operating in total 100% fraud. But if they can trick you to come play, it's a different game. So, folks, that should really make you really stinking angry. So for everybody out there who's listening to this call, you got third-party debt scumbags coming through your door, you need to get over to my house and get your mind right and get the documents and have some fun because I promise there will not be a hypothecation event at your house anymore. I promise. Gee, go figure. I might know something. I practiced on me first, folks. I ain't throw nobody into the breach.
Well said, Pete. Well said. I feel your passion, and I understand why you get so angry, because it is so. What is wrong with you? Wake up! You're taking these people by the shoulders. You know what I mean? And trying to wake people up to say, look at everything that's going around. Wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to come out of the hypnotic state. It's time to see what's going on around you. And it is very frustrating. I definitely can feel your frustration. But the other part of the fan is, the side of it is, we do have a lot of fans that are coming out and that are, learning the truth and learning to live in peace and learning about the private, and that's the thing. We have to all unlearn what we've been taught and relearn, and it is, it's not for everybody, for sure. It does take, a different type of person to definitely, want to educate and want to be free and, not want to be blissfully unaware, as I like to call it. But, you're doing your part,
John,
Peter.
These intelligence insulting belief systems are just, there's just so much in there for me and for most people. So, most people like to believe in these Arcturians and these white knight brotherhood of Pleiadian aliens that are going to come and save us, and it's going to be the second coming of Christ. And 500 bankers quit their jobs today. The rats are fleeing the ship, and everything outside. Everyone is saving you except yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
Yep. Exactly.
Everybody out there. Everybody get on board, put your belief in this system, in that system, in the other system. Come on down. We're going to insult your intelligence, and so long as we have your power, you can't claim it for yourself. But you know what? I'm not down for that. I'm not. I'm a troublemaker, but I do it peacefully. And it starts in the etheric. It starts in the etheric. You get a sense of energies. Then it comes down to the mental. You make a choice because you have awareness, and then you can bring it through action in the world.
Anyways, I wanted to broach a subject that nobody wants to talk about, just in case anybody's not getting the memo, because you're probably next. They've been posting it all over Russia and other countries. Yeah, they don't post it in USA Inc., folks, because you're the sheeple. If we posted it in USA Inc., then the sheeple would wake up, and we can't have that because we got to fleece them. We're not done yet. Anyways, I'm going to cover this. It's come out on Natural News. I just was over in 5D sharing seeing what the love was. Folks, you're going to like this. I have this article, and you can go get it at naturalnews.com. Yeah, it says a brand new looting arrangement has been reached concerning Cypriot banks. This is Cyprus. For those who weren't paying attention to last Saturday's rant, it involves seizing the funds of all accounts over 100,000 euros, then stealing up to 40% of those funds sometime over the next few weeks, or whenever the EU bureaucrats, that's the scum-sucking bottom feeders at the top of the pecking order, the thieves, the ones who think they're in charge, get around to deciding exactly how much to steal. You got to love it, folks. You can't make this up. So instead of 10% being stolen from most accounts, as was originally proposed, the new deal under the IMF is that 40% will be stolen from selected accounts, but not from accounts holding less than 100,000. Oh, so they're only going to rape the crap out of the ones on the upper crust of the scab, I guess. Okay, well, that's special. Anyways, so why the 100,000 threshold for having your money stolen by the banking system? Because all European bank accounts are insured up to 100,000 euros. No kidding. Go figure. Insurance, LLC. Gee, where did I hear that before, Michelle? Limited Liability Corporation, USA Inc., Canada Inc. Yep, they're all collecting on insurance. Hey, folks, gee, that's what the hell I was talking about on my 12-minute overview on the third-party debt scam. The original creditor got paid. He had insurance when you went into default. Well, guess what, folks? I'm going to give you a free pass for the rest of your life on third-party debt for the rest of your life. Go over to my house and get the package. It's free. Anyways, Yeah, but you got to be a fully paid member. Yeah, you're going to have to pay to come. Yeah, that's what I told one person who was kicking my tires last week. I'd like to see the documents first. I said, I'll tell you what. The package is free. My education is not. If you're not worth the education to come to my house and sit in on my Thursday night calls to get your mind right and get changed, then you need to stand fast so they can rape your estates and steal all the beneficial interest. And then when there's nothing left, gee, maybe I should have come over and talked to that guy, Pete. He was really talking some truth over there. Gee, go figure. Anyways, folks, yeah, I am on a rant tonight. I'm in rare form, but wake up. Hello. They're telling you straight up. Folks, yeah, here we go, IMF. You know, I got a special vernacular for IMF, folks, and it doesn't mean International Monetary Fund either. Yeah, you can probably figure out, put two and two together with your deductive reasoning on what I would tell you IMF means. And you got Christine the whore Lagarde characterized the theft as a lasting, durable, and fully financed solution. Yeah, listen to this whore. She's another whore in commerce at the top of the pecking order. And if that's not enough of a solution, then they can always loot more private accounts to reach a new solution. Sure, it's a great solution if you're the banksters stealing all the money from the private account holders, but from the point of view of depositors, this solution looks more like a mugging. Folks, it ain't mugging. This is outright theft right out from underneath you. But see, I've been telling people this for years. That's why I stepped out of my account in 1995. I actually read the contract. It says I give over everything to them. So guess what? I have nothing. So you know what I said? Nah, I'm not amenable. See, there I withdrew my consent, withdrew my account, and said, nevermore. I will never be party to the whores looting a give-over. And folks, if you read it, it actually tells you give permission and consent to the scumbags from the IMF, i.e. the IRS, CRA, or whatever whores that you be for your banking system you gave over as a dead entity and gave over via your signature. Unencumbered. Unencumbered means you gave over the signature. You didn't preface it with by and a colon. You just gave it. And so when you just give it, they just take it. Folks, it's considered abandoned property like everything else in your life. Anyways, hey, if you want to see how the changes can be changed, come over to my house at Privatis.Me. Folks, I'm trying to make a point here because I'm going to talk about everything they're not going to. I'm going to show you how to rescind contracts. And, hey, the rescission of the contract will stand. It will be red box. It will be non-negotiable. This game will be over. But you've got to take an action.
And it's not... Sorry, Peter, for interrupting. This is an important point, I think. It's not a fight. It is not a war. Even though their contracts with us have been brought about through deceit and lying and trickery and omission, the way that you and Michael approach things with your documents and the packages that you've put together for people to access, it's not warring. You're not fighting. And that's the paradox. This is what makes you guys unique compared to other people who are out there and who are in commerce and who make thousands and thousands of dollars selling people what you and Michael are offering for, what is it, $120 for a whole year?
I'm not offering anything for $120. The $120 is they can sit at the buffet table.
It's the membership.
Membership, right.
It's
the
membership
we're not
to
in
the
commerce.
website. Exactly, because you're private.
Yeah,
and,
it's a private membership. Gee, go figure.
Exactly, because what you do in private stays in private. What you do in public, that's public.
Yep.
So, Peter, I think you're stark raving sane. Absolutely stark raving sane.
Yep. I took my medication today. Everything's just fine. Quaaludes are us. The 1970s. Hey, it's a throwback.
Oh, boy.
No. Folks, I don't do
I'm reading the rest of this article that you're talking about, Pete, and you see the next line when you read down. It's actually even worse than the 40%. They're saying that entire accounts were seized indefinitely. That anybody over 100,000 euros is now indefinitely frozen, seized as the bankers figure out exactly how much to steal. Large deposits with Bank of Cyprus above the insured level will now be frozen until it becomes clear whether or to what extent they will also be forced to take losses. Like, this is just insane. Like,
But this is the ultimate
this is where it's just going to start.
System.
You know what I mean? This is where it's going to start. It's going to Fred.
This is the control system so long as we agree with it. We are holding these chains. We're free to go whenever we want. But so long as we all agree that these pieces of paper have value and that they are a controlling aspect in our lives, then look, that's your consent. That is your tacit consent. And so long as we all agree to it, we're all enslaved by it. It's a mind hack. It's an absolute mind hack. We're all in this same dream together. And I'm making a break for it. I don't know how it's going to go down. I don't know all the details, but I know where I'm heading, and that's all I have to know. Things will unfold. I know things, they are now. Things are unfolding now. Peter, I told you that dream I had. I had a bag of a suitcase of money for some reason in my dream, and there were some men in dark suits, and I think they wore sunglasses too, and they were running after me, and I was running.
They're probably CRA agents.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
And that's right. Where's your cut? And at one point, I just stopped, and I faced them. I put the bag down, and I said, "Is this what you want? Take it." And I turned and I walked away. In other words, in that dream that I had months ago, I relinquished the control that money has over me. In my life, I still have a foot in commerce. I pay bills like everybody else, and I'm navigating. I'm making my way through. But I sense that we're in this transition right now, and there are more and more people that are getting it. It's going to be really difficult, and I don't think it's my job to convince other people what to believe, because they are in that energy system of belief that somehow they have to follow someone else. No, what I want is a whole world of leaders. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
you know, these people, these 4 or 5 people that we've had through the ages, that other people have learned from and have revered somehow as great spiritual men, great spiritual teachers and leaders. I don't think they were leaders. I think they were the best followers we have ever had.
Yep.
They were the best followers because they followed their own knowing.
Yep.
And in following their knowing, they became leaders somehow to other people who weren't able to somehow understand from that they had the ability to. It's too easy. It's too easy. I'll just put my belief in somebody outside of me. I'll put my belief in a system. I'll put my belief in that
religion,
that spiritual teacher or that guru, because he seems to know what's going on. Hey, I'm going to follow him.
Yeah, I don't follow nobody.
No.
I am my own leader.
Well, that's it.
It's called
I'm
self-directed
a
flow.
anarchist.
That's all it is. Self-directed flow.
There you go.
So, let's come back down to the false money system, folks. I guess you'll do something when they take 100% of everything you got, and then you say, "Gee, they took 100% of everything I got. I got no way to fight." Well, hey, that's your starting point. Welcome.
But why are we waiting?
Yeah, why are we waiting? When do we draw a line in the sand? And folks, so for all those folks out there who got 401ks, they got friends who got 401ks, and you think it's going to be better? Hey, the party's just started. Yeah, it's just started. It's going to get ugly, and it's going to get real ugly real quick. And this is not fear porn. This is your wake-up call. I keep saying this is your wake-up call.
And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. I know you're saying, Peter, that it's going to get ugly, but you know what? It doesn't have to be.
Right.
This is the choice that every person is going to be faced with, and I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers. All I'm offering is a possibility that this is not how it has to be.
Yeah.
Well, myself, I think it's going to be ugly for some and not so ugly for others.
Right. Those that know how to be self-sufficient, grow, and I can make mud puddles into drinkable water. I learned that skill in the military. Thank you, military. You taught me well how to be
and
fundamentally
you know how to
sound.
dig
A straddle trench.
Straddle trench.
Straddle trench. And
that's very important.
You don't crap uphill. It's always downhill. Thank you. I just thought I'd cover that. Because then you'll be eating.
I'm coming to your place.
Yeah, you'll be eating that poop sandwich that I so joyously talk about. It won't be candy coated. It's called E. coli poisoning, folks. See, they teach us stuff like that. How not to contaminate our own water supply and create E. coli poisoning events and just little nifty things like that. How to build a rocket stove out of 16 brick so I can actually boil my water, cook my food with twigs. I don't need logs. I don't need energy sources from afar. Just simple concepts that I've learned over time. Folks, matter of fact, I've got a book. I think I'll post that over on the site for everybody's consumption. It covers how to, I made a solar oven in about 3 hours with my brother Larry that you pay $400 on the internet for, but because you're not self-sufficient to build your own, you're going to pay $400. It cost me $13 with a little insulation, wood, double insulated glass that I got that was a throwaway, and I made an actual solar oven that could actually cook a pot of beans in the sun. It's a pretty nifty concept, very, very simple, but these are the concepts that I learned because while the rest of my neighborhood's scrambling to find their butt with both hands and find potable water, I'm covered. But I'll share with them because I love them, because I can, and I'll show them how to be self-sufficient in short order. This is where they don't want us thinking. See, folks, I cover all the spectrums. I cover all the bases because I don't trust none of these clowns. So if they want to get stupid, they can get stupid, but it won't be Camp FEMA for Brother Peter. That ticket will be hereby revoked, rescinded, no consent. They can put a bullet through my head. I really don't care. I really don't care. How's that grab you?
Well, when you figured out
I kind of crossed that bridge myself too some while back. That it'll be kind of interesting to watch. I'm sure I'll be amused when it is my time. Okay, so this is how I'm going to go. Okay, But I don't know. It's I don't have fear.
Well,
I don't know.
That's what's so scary
about us. It's like when you let go of the controls. Sorry, John, go ahead.
I said that's what's so scary about us is that we don't fear death. It's just part of the adventure. We all were somewhere else before we came here, and we'll go somewhere else after we leave. And
there you go.
So what's there to be scared of? It's all natural. You know what I mean? So
everybody's going to the boneyard. Nobody gets out alive, and my spirit's going to where it goes. It's all good, folks.
Exactly.
I'm not scared of my death so much as I do have some fear surrounding my life. In other words, I really want to make sure that I'm doing all that I can be doing to be living here in the moment now, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, so I do have a bit of fear around that.
Yeah, I got it today. I just got the here and now. If they put the drone strike on my house 5 minutes from now and Peter becomes a vapor, it's all good. That's a possibility because now they kill them in America for being political dissidents or whatever. But, I'm not part of the body politic, so I'm not a political dissident. I'm not one of their NDAA bottom feeders. I'm not a dual-minded man. I don't subscribe to the body politic, haven't, and so therein lies another problem. Anyways, I like being who I am. I like being where I am. And, folks, it's just about getting your mind right. That's all it is. Who has the power?
But
you got the power.
But most people don't know that we're actually living in the dark. And they don't know that there's actually a switch. And they don't know how to find the switch. Look, there's just so many steps involved.
I know. Well, there's not really. It's actually really simple. That's why I got all the switches. I got tons of switches, electronical switches to turn on everybody's circuit. Come on over to my house, and I'll show you. I'll get you the switch. I promise.
That's true.
Yeah, I ain't sweating the small crap. Everything else is just bull crap anyways. It's just the smoke and mirrors game. Folks, let's remove the smoke and mirrors, and you'll get some clarity. some clarity. Anyways, yeah, gotta love this, folks. So this is, I guess, your wake-up call, sort of, with no deposits or ever safe while central banks are running things. Yeah, anyways, the bottom line truth is no deposits. Yeah, for those of you got safety deposit boxes, I highly advocate you pull your stuff out because they're already raping them down at Chase Manhattan in New York. I got a friend of mine down there giving me a heads up on that. Isn't that special? Because you gave over. You signed it over. Yeah, I know you didn't think you gave over, but you gave over. Yeah, that's the problem with the system. You're in the system of downs, and it's just a control mechanism. So if you don't like what they're doing and how they're doing business, remove your consent. That's simple.
Yeah.
Start rescinding shit everywhere.
I'm in the process actually of. I did this in the etheric years ago. I broke all contracts that were made without my knowing, without full disclosure and all those other things that make up a full contract, equal consideration, etc. I broke all those in the etheric, but I understand I have to do it in the world and like physically make my intentions known. So I'm following the bouncing ball, and I'm starting with my seal and my coat of arms, and then I'm going to do the sort of I guess a rescission of my voter registration status. I didn't know what I was getting into. I've voted once in my life, and I still feel dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 18. I didn't know better. I really didn't.
No, they dupe all the young ones, and yeah, they program them well. Part of the body politic. Yeah, we got Agenda 21 crap going right here in Podunk, where I'm on the land. But I was talking to my landlord, and he was saying, yeah, they're pushing this. I says, hey, I was telling you guys this 3 years ago. Now they're all starting to wake up. You know, hey, folks, if you don't know what Agenda 21 is, pull it up on your internet and go look. I'm not going to read it to you. You got to read it for yourself. This is where they're going to close down your neighborhood and make you all have specified different things in the front, specify different colors, sort of like, you know, these people who live in these beautiful subdivisions, and then they got all these stupid-ass rules, these dictates by some housing association. Yeah, just think of it as one big-ass housing association. Oh, yeah, you didn't put the wet bells on the front of the porch in the proper capacity, 3 inches from the proper height. That's a $300 fine. See, folks, that's all they know is control mechanisms, and then to herd all the cattle to be on top of each other in cities and under the guise of we're protecting the environment out in these little nooks and crannies in the world. What a crock of crap, folks! If you buy that, I got some canned sand that I can sell you for the Arabs. You know, I mean, folks, when are we going to wake up? Anyways, it's happening right before your eyes, but that's all right. I'm going to give you solutions so that you don't have to be a party to consent. It's really, really simple. So, matter of fact, all these documents that I speak of, these templates that Michael's already created for free for our full members, yes, you get them. You can rescind these contracts. You can move forward. You can remove presumptions. It's really, really simple. This is where I live. I'm a simple guy. I was in the Navy. What do you expect?
Well done, Peter. Well done. At least there's people out there trying to wake up everybody.
Yeah, they're saying, oh, damn, Peter's making our ears bleed tonight. What the hell? Well, it's all right. I love you, folks. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't say it.
Do we have a cure for bleeding ears at the body part of?
I have surgical skills beyond my recognition, and I could do tympanioplasties on everybody. I'll graft new skin and make new eardrums for all the parties. So since I'm the concussion grenade and you lost your tympanic brain, I can graft skin and make a new one.
Peter's just out there trying to clean up the boson layer, that's all.
The boson, oh yeah, wasn't that beautiful?
Yeah, you got that from the Washington newspaper.
Did you like that? Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the boson, yeah.
Let me give the listeners.
Oh yeah, let's get the list out. Hey, let's have some fun. Hey, folks, we're gonna go light now, willy nilly, huh? Hello.
Yeah.
Bozo.
Yeah, willy-nilly.
My goodness.
Bozo.
And Michelle, I did post that in every Skype box. I got about 300 of them, and everybody got some chuckles today. Peter was sharing
Very
the love
good.
on a different level.
It's my sister that emailed that to me today. I thought it was very funny.
Tell her hundreds of people appreciated that.
Am I still on? I think my long distance just cut off.
Oh, no.
Am I still on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
All right, bozo.
Oh, that was so bizarre. Yes, boson.
The substance surrounding stupid people that stops bright ideas from penetrating. The boson layer, unfortunately, shows little sign of breaking down in the near future.
Yeah.
The Washington Post. Yeah, beautiful.
And what about this one? There was castration.
Yes, I'm looking at it right now.
The act of buying a house which renders the subject financially impotent for an indefinite period.
That's right.
Or giraffiti instead of giraffiti, instead of graffiti, giraffiti, vandalism, sprayed, painted very, very high.
Yes.
Anyways, folks, there was a bunch of them. Sorry you couldn't get the memo, but this is where we were at this afternoon. We had to go decompression.
I loved it. Peter, can I read this one? It was the Doppler effect, the tendency of stupid ideas to seem smarter when they come at you rapidly.
In
other words, the faster the person talks, the smarter the ideas seem.
Well, hey, then I should be a genius because I talk really fast. My goodness. You got to figure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Folks, as you can see, we're making light of things at this point, but because it is, this is a hard pill to swallow. The truth pill is a really hard pill to swallow. A friend of mine told me back many years ago, he goes, yep, the hardest thing you'll ever sell is the truth. And he was right. Because even when they have irrevocable proof, they still want to go into cognitive dissonance and stick their head in the sand, but it doesn't make it any less true. That's the problem. And as a matter of fact, that's consenting by acquiescing, by going into your shutdown mode. You are giving over. You are consenting again, all over again, by failure to meet it head on. So if you're looking for solutions, come over to my house. If you're not, stay put, and they'll have some other solutions for you that you're not going to like.
I want to chime in here about, we were talking about faith and belief earlier. I want to read this quote from Friedrich Nietzsche. A casual stroll through the lunatic asylum shows that faith does not prove anything.
Yeah.
You can cling on to your beliefs and your faith, but
Yes, what's better to know? Aren't we in the age of Aquarius now, where we're supposed to be at the age of knowing?
Yeah, that's me. I got that covered, brother. I'm there.
We just got to catch up the rest of the people.
I'm trying. Yeah, well, that's why I put these memos out all the time. Hey, folks, if you want memos, come over to Privatis.Me, and we'll give you a memo on everything. Michael likes to give memos because I'm the colonel, and the colonel on high likes to give directive. So when everybody gets the memo, the troops are not lost in a sea of illusion. Because right now, the sea of illusion is deep in the Admiralty. Since everybody's under the obelisk over there in D.C., it's all considered Admiralty since 1871. Everything under there below that is considered Admiralty, even though you're on dry land. I know that's a foreign concept to your mind, but I was in the Navy and know a little bit about Admiralty. Anyways, folks, if you haven't seen my new YouTube, go take a look at it. It's over on Privatis.me. It's 12 minutes. It'll give you the nickel tour on third-party scams. So for all my Australian brothers, all my German brothers, all IMF Italian brothers, Australia, yes, we have your package. It's completed. Michael did a special package just for you guys. But we have an international package that's available for every IMF-run country to deal with third-party debt. What is third-party debt? Third-party debt's anything farmed out to a clown at the circus under the guise that you owe after it's already been paid by the original creditor. The original creditor is where it started, and then they sold it out to some bottom feeder so that he could have a game to make some money to come steal it out of your house. Well, that never has to be an issue ever again. Matter of fact, it won't be an issue ever again. And the only thing I ask of my brothers and sisters who use the package is share with me their success stories, because there's going to be lots of them. My objective is to put that industry out of business, because I want to share the love, because they need to go find jobs of substance, because what they're doing to my brothers and sisters is not a job of substance. And folks, they're laughing at you behind closed doors that you actually buy off on the lie. They are laughing at you. That's the sad part, because it's such trickery. These people that work in these industries, it's all on the wheel. What goes around comes around. They're going to get theirs in the end, I promise. And I'm going to help expedite this capacity a little bit faster. So if everybody just got a third-party debt termination package and did it, it would put an industry flat on its back in about 5 minutes. Really that simple. Well, because everybody operates from fear, this is the whole point why I want you to come to my lunchroom, my buffet, and sit at my table every Thursday so that you can get your learn on so you're not missing things. And we're going to start from the beginning this Thursday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So those that are signed up on the site actually get the memo to show up for that class. And that class is free for all my brothers and sisters. Yeah, the documents aren't, but the class is. So if it resonates with you, step on in and move forward. If it doesn't, stand fast, and they'll nuke your brow through the hypothecation event and bleed your estate, the beneficial interest, until it's all gone. You have an option. You can give consent, or you can remove the consent. You can rescind the contract, or you can stand fast and get whomped. I don't want you to get whomped. Yeah, another beautiful show. Yep, we are in the spirit of things. I am in the spirit of things. And my phone is acting really funny these days because the clowns at the circus like to tap and rap and run interference because that's all they know how to do. Anyways, Andrea, I'm going to call back in. I'm going to cank it. Johnny and Michelle, carry the ball. I'm going to call back in. All right?
All right, you got it, Peter.
Thanks.
So, John, I wanted to ask about the process that you're doing with Jesse. What's because I understand that you sent a letter to our Minister of Defense, Peter MacKay, right?
I did send a letter to him, yes. Ignored as usual.
And what was the delay on that?
Oh, pardon me?
What was the delay on that? When are you supposed to technically hear back from him?
Well, we're supposed to hear back by the 26th, so which will be tomorrow. That'll be 21 days, and we will be sending a follow-up letter as well, registered mail, and to basically say, hey, we understand that you did get the letter. What seems to be a hold-up? Why are you not contacting us back? Either way, you know what I mean. You're interested, not interested, so be it, right? But these are the type of games that they play, because, like I say, we seem to be bringing back original real laws, and it's almost like the kids in the playground. If they ignore it, it might go away. Well, we're not going anywhere. We refuse to go anywhere. So we're just going to keep on exposing it and keep on showing people that there is a better way, and that we can stand up in our true power. So that's what we're trying to do. It is like I say, it's this life is not for the weak-minded kind of thing. You know what I mean? There is definitely challenges and tribulations, and but it does help. Really teach you who you are as a man or a woman, and teaches you that you can handle a lot more than you thought that you could handle. Before such tragedies happen and stuff like this. So. We are getting the positives out of this as well. So
of course.
And we've had so much support with all our listeners and all this kind of stuff too, and all the new friends we've made, and so it's helping tenfold to really come ahead of this, and to stay peaceful, and to stay in the light, and to stay loving, and to know what we're doing is right. So.
Right. You guys are probably freaking them out. They don't know how to react because
exactly.
You're pioneering this.
Exactly.
You're this is new. They're not used to people standing up for themselves, and you're freaking them out, John.
And
they're used to bully beat down.
Exactly, and you can see it every time, like I said before in earlier calls, when we used to go to the courtrooms and stuff like that, the sheriffs and the lawyers there, they look at us with, disdain and, kind of like, the rolling of the eyes and stuff. But now, after we've been there a few times, now it's, like I say, the lowering of the eyes and the, oh no, here they come again, and they're not backing down. And you can see it, and the judges, when they're speaking to you, they're much more respectful now to us when we go into that courtroom. And, it's no more of a very dismissive attitude with us. Because, like I say, we know who we are, and it's once you understand 2 + 2 = 4, and it's not 3, no one can ever make you go back and say it's 3. Didn't they try that in the film 1984? How many fingers am I holding up?
Right.
And that's exactly what they're trying to do with us, and it just so happens that Jesse and I are cut from the same cloth. So that helps a lot, having a good partner like her, that, a partner that is a partner, that will go through anything with you, good or bad. So, and actually be on the same level, that's winning the lottery right there, having such a good partner.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I think we still have our buzzing issue. I'm going to try to, I'll hang up and I'll try to call back, and I guess we'll try to see if it's me, okay?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, so I'm just going to hang up.
Mine's
now.
always hummed like this, but not this loud lately. It's just a louder hum. Shake, rattle, and hum. It's all good. Anyways, let me go over to where I was going to. I'd like to throw a shout out to brother Zach in support of Peter and Andrea, who's a producer for I Am Free Will, and they're sharing the love, and they're part of the nucleus, and it's a beautiful thing. And folks, we like to share here. So this is integrated flow into. We're just bringing forward information, and like I say, folks, if you're looking for the shift, this is the right place. Everywhere else I've looked over the years, 25 years of digging in, and I always look for solutions, and they were far, few, and in between. And the nefarious ones that like to move the goalposts. But I really hate to see them move the goalposts and cause my brothers and sisters duress. So, if you got a 401k or savings in the bank account, don't wait till it's too late. Do something. You have the option. You have freedom of choice. Anyways, it might not be a bad idea to exercise the option to remove it. They tried making a mad dash last Saturday in Cyprus, and then they shut them down and turned them away. Now they're really upset. Don't become. Don't wait till the end.
Bank so they can't take out any money now. They've been closed now for since this began, and the banks are refusing to open now because people are just waiting to take their money out of there, as fast as the banks open, kind of thing. And who can blame them?
Yeah, well, it's that's how nefarious ones act, folks. Don't wait until it becomes a crisis. I'm giving you the heads up now. Take an action. That's simple. If you don't believe me, stand fast, do nothing, and you can experience the Cyprus event for yourself, I guess. I know I won't be worrying about it. I'm not there. Haven't been there for a long time. But this is what happens. This is how people fly by the seat of their pants, John. They wait until, because they go into cognitive dissonance, they shut their brain down from thinking. They say, oh, it can't happen to me, or it's not going to happen to me. Just because you don't think it will doesn't mean it won't. So therein lies the problem. So, anyways, everybody needs to start taking it.
That's exactly why we chose to live the life we live. We understood that how the money system worked, and I'm surprised it still hasn't collapsed yet. But we understood that, and we said, listen, if things were to happen like that to us, would we be screwed? Would we be that dependent on the system? And the answer was yes. and that was very vulnerable to us. So we were like, no, we're not going to do that. And that's why we moved out country. That's why we learned how to grow our own food. I was just a country guy, or a city guy before I moved out country and stuff like that. I didn't know that much about growing my own food, and my first couple of years, I grew very little food and didn't get that much, but I learned more and more each year. And next thing you know, I'm growing zucchinis and squashes bigger than my head and stuff. Just huge things, ready to look, and all natural, all heirloom, good foods. Learning to make our own seeds and stuff like this. And after you get it all set up, it's very simple to go back and do it year after year, and it doesn't take a great big expense. It doesn't take, even with our free energy and stuff like that nowadays, solar panels and windmills, it's very cheap to actually set up a house now. Whereas before it was $50,000 to hundreds of $1,000s, you could set up a whole house for between $10,000 and $15,000, and my power bill is at least, $3,000-$4,000 a year. So you're talking within 3-4 years, free power. There's no reason not to nowadays. It is so cheap. It's so prevalent out there and stuff like that. It's no reason to be caught in this, cycle of, I hope I get my power bill paid. I hope I can afford the food this week. Now that's gone up 3 times, as much as it used to be. Like people don't realize what's going on. Do we not realize like bread is $3 a loaf and stuff like that? I don't know what it is in the States and stuff, but here it's $3 a loaf. I don't know if bread became that much more expensive to make since 20, 30 years ago. It used to be 25 cents a loaf and 15 cents a loaf. I thought we were in a modern world, but now it's $3-4 a loaf. What happened?
Right.
It's that much
more
harder.
What happened is food.
It's
what happened, John, is food is a commodity. It's traded. They deal in futures now. It's a casino. Everything has become a casino, and everything is. They trade on these things, on futures. It's no longer the actual substance, but it's the idea of the substance.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. And this transition that we're going through, I decided for myself that I would not have my actions guided by fear. That I was absolutely not going to be acting because of fear. And sometimes that's difficult, but I know for me, I was looking into the sustainable. You know that I work in construction, and I've done a lot of renovations, and I'm a plasterer by trade. And I was looking into. There was a course in Ontario where they taught sustainable building. You got together with 20 people, and you actually built a straw bale home with water catchment systems and photovoltaic panels and just the whole deal. And I hummed and hawed for 3 years over that, and I realized, okay, look, if I haven't taken action, it's because it's not my place. And then I was looking into, it just seems that each one of us in this sort of has a place. And as appealing as it is to me, just for now, it seems that the time isn't right, and that things are kind of coming into place. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Well, like I say, you are living how you need to live perfectly. There's no wrong way to live. This idea that people have, that I'm supposed to be figuring out something in this life, or I'm supposed to get somewhere in this life, or I don't share that concept. You know what I mean? I don't believe there's the rule to life. So whatever you're doing, and if that's comfortable for you, then go with it. If it's not comfortable for you, change it. That's basically how I look at it. For myself, that's how I want to be comfortable with 4 children to feed and stuff like that. I had to think about others and set that kind of lifestyle up for myself, and that's what worked for me.
Yeah.
But like I say, there's no wrong way to do it. There's some people are not going to prepare whatsoever, and they're going to make out just fine because of the different skills that they've attained in their life, and you know what I mean. And this is just how life goes. So.
Yeah. I love what you and Jesse have set up for yourselves, and I do see myself eventually having a community of like-minded people who aren't into the commerce thing, but I understand that this is transition and that we will have to have a foot or perhaps a big toe in the world of commerce so that we can still trade, I guess, for essentials. But, I just love the whole idea of sustainably built houses on a tract of land, and permaculture, food forests, everything set up, and just attracting the people that wish to contribute with their special abilities and their special skills. If somebody wants to come and be the resident beekeeper, then they can do that. If somebody wants to come and raise sheep and make wool and knit sweaters for everybody, fantastic. We're going to need sweaters,
Exactly,
I just have this idea that everybody just will contribute in the way that they feel compelled to contribute.
And that's how the world should be.
Yeah. I'm not big on the word should, but it's
well,
how it could. It could be. Yeah. But we're just not there yet. I remember in grade 8 we were having this religious instruction class, and I don't know, somehow the topic of anarchy was raised, and I muttered under my breath, "We're not ready for anarchy." And the teacher caught me talking out loud, kind of, and he said, "What was that?" And I said, "We're not ready. We're not evolved enough for anarchy." And I think even back then I understood that this is a hack. This is an enormous mind hack of just insane proportions. We all agree to it. I was born into this world, into this life, and, the birds don't worry about mortgages and taxes and insurance, do they?
No, they don't.
These artificial things. They don't worry about going to school and about the price of gas and how much a loaf of bread costs.
It does seem silly, doesn't it?
It's a mental. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It really, really is.
That we're the smartest, most intelligent beings on this planet, and instead of freeing ourselves, we've found every opportunity to enslave our fellow mankind as much as we can.
Yep.
Well, that's the inversion, isn't it? That's the inversion that we've spoken about over the past couple of weeks. That's this knowledge that we all had access to, every single one of us, a long time ago, but it became subverted and then inverted and used against us. We are now worshiping at the various cults of death instead of life, and this perverse sex somehow that is now just so pervasive. It's everywhere. It's the inversions. Everything is an inversion. Everything right now is the way that it has been meant to be, and those who are controlling and bringing forth the agenda have made it so that everything is the way it is. And that's by design. Everything is by design. And when you have that perception, then you sort of have an opening and you can start asking some questions. But until people realize that everything is the way that it is and it is by design, then I don't think we have a chance of reaching that choice, a chance of reaching that opening where we realize we have choice. Because it all exists in that choice. When I have choice, when I realize that I have choice, my God, the explosion of potential in front of me, the possibilities are endless, and it's all right there, at hand. And it's a switch. It's a switch in my head.
Yep.
Most people can't access it because they haven't reached that openness yet. I was talking to a neighbor of mine a while ago, and we were discussing yoga. For a lot of people, the physical will be a portal to reaching that choice, to reaching that space, that awareness. In stretching your body and discovering your flexibility in your body, that can reach your mind, and your ideas may take on greater flexibility. And that leads to a greater flexibility in spirit. For some people, it might be a different physical portal. It might be disease or death or accident. For most people, it's going to be suffering, unfortunately. Suffering is the best teacher I've ever had. I know that, for me.
Yeah. Definitely
but
makes
it
you
doesn't
learn
have
your
to
lesson.
be that way. Yeah. And it's not even about learning a lesson. It's about facing it. Because when most people run away from problems, but when you face it, then you realize you have a choice.
Yeah.
It's that paradox that we keep coming back to about fear and courage. The courage is there. It is the fear that elicits the courage to face the problem that is shrouded in fear. But it's always been there. The courage has always been there. It's just it takes the fear to elicit it. That's my rant, I think.
Well, it takes me back to that quote. The only thing to fear is fear itself, and it's easy to say that, but to really think it and believe it, it's so true. It is the onset of what could happen, what might happen, that is so much scarier than usually the situation that if you face it in the beginning.
Exactly.
I found that a lot. You always imagine it worse than it usually ever is, and actually to face your fear is actually a relief and an empowering part of your spiritual development, as far as I'm concerned.
But isn't the process of thinking about how bad things can actually get, doesn't that show you how creative we are?
Exactly.
That we can bring to mind all these creative possibilities. It's like that comparison with a hammer. If I've had a hammer in my hand all my life and all I have done with it is demolition, I might not even have the idea that I can build with it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I carry around that hammer, only having known demolition and destruction, everything starts to look like something that needs to be hammered. Right?
That's how I feel about the human body. It was like we were given this, state-of-the-art machine. We're put into it, and we're and just basically like, okay, take it out for a test run. Tell me how it works for you. No, there is no manual. Figure it out. That's kind of how it feels with the body, right? No one has a clue. But it's absolutely
right, and I would go past
machine.
there, and I would say I would say it's not just body; it's life itself.
Mm.
It's the dance with life itself that I am experiencing now. The dance with the energies that present themselves to me, and how I transmute them, how I transform them, how I can change another person's day just by a comment or a look. How I can change my own life just by my mindset.
And that's the truth. I'll tell you that. It's very easy to get yourself into a negative mindset. And it is. I was having this conversation with Jesse the other day. It was like, it's almost like you're living with you, and then you've got this other part of yourself, the mind of the machine, always wondering about the future, always thinking about the past, when sometimes you just want to be in the moment. And, we forget that, we're not the machine. We need to take over. Sometimes we need to hush the machine up and to live in the present, so that we are taking in the perspective of the now, because we can definitely get lost in what could be or what was very easily.
Exactly. I was discussing with Peter a couple of days ago. and I don't quite know how to introduce the topic, but I know I have to make it fast because we're gonna.
Yeah,
we're almost at the end of the show.
You got 1 second. Hurry up.
Okay. It was that quote, and I won't say the name of the person until the end. But he said, I don't need to kill a person. I just need to think it. And most people will shut their minds off to that idea immediately. They can't hold on to the idea and consider it. That's the power of the open mind. Anyway, I think we have to. I think we have to go. But maybe on tomorrow's show we can continue on that, because it has to do with the power of the mind and who said that versus who could have said that.
Something to look forward to then.
Yeah. Well,
so
anyways,
I think.
Yeah, let's segue out of here, folks. Appreciate you coming to the call. Like I say, this will be the last week, Tuesday and Saturday at Blog Talk Freedom Reigns. All my shows, Monday, Tuesdays, and Saturdays, will be over here at Blog Talk I Am Free Will. And it will still have the In the Spirit of Things, so the theme will be there. So you should have little or no difficulty finding us. And if you haven't signed up at Privatis.Me, go ahead, it's free. Go look at the cancer page, go look at some truth. Follow the new curriculum. It's for everybody. It'll give you a lot more clarity. Anyways, we posted it there for your consumption, and we are sharing the love. So if you want direction and flow, come through my door. You have my consent, my permission to come to my house. And everybody at my house, I consider them all family. So come on in. Water's fine, as I always say, and we love you. And we're going to catch you on the rebound. We'll be back. Next Monday will be a medical show with Peter and Brother Jerry, and we're going to share with you how to get your machine right on a whole different level, much more effectively, cheaply, and if you're looking to get your body right. So we're going to go there. Anyways, we will be back at Freedom Reigns tomorrow night, Tuesday, and also Saturday, so we'll be closing out the week there. Anyways, have a great night. Thank you for showing up. We love you, and we'll catch you on the rebound. Bye-bye.
Good night, guys.
Good night, bud.
Thanks, guys. Love you both.
Thank you, Michelle.
Love you.